Earth those here, and we are doing our Let's Play on the Banner Saga 2. You might have noticed I have the channel a little offset, just because I haven't had a chance to hop in this yet. I have actually not done anything. This is actually the first time I've even loaded Banner Saga 2 up, so I want to make sure that I'm not going to block anything out with our logo. So we'll take care of that right away. If you notice anything weird with the audio, let me know. I did just check that out, and the only audio option is to turn it on or off. There isn't any extra tweaking we can do with the volume, so I'm assuming it's going to be fairly quiet like it was in the first one. But we're just going to hop in and we'll see how things go. I do actually have a saved game from the first one, so I'm going to choose to import that one. If I remember right, Rook is the one who... Is he sacrificed or Zillet? I don't even remember how I ended the first one. It's been a while. Looks like I don't actually have that file on this computer, so we'll start with Alette. Jacob Fenton and Boris guard the families of the caravan, took to Alette, daughter of Rook, the former leader, to guide them. Though young, her compassion for others and ability with a bow have impressed all but the most stubborn clan leaders, calling on her personal resolve and lifetime friendships with the archer Oddleaf and the massive Varl Ivor. Alette must continue her father's work of seeing the caravan to the safety of the distant capital city, Aberrang.
Tíminn líður áfram, eins og straumþung á sem fleytir okkur áfram. Time continues washing over us, moment after moment, like waves on a coast. Some more fierce, more violent than others. So few of my kind, the giant war, remain alive. Even so, I find myself wondering if humans, while able to bear children, suffer more for the loss of loved ones. Several weeks have passed since we slew the Sundren known as Bellower, but the chaos of the world did not wither as we hoped. The world is breaking. We sail aboard hastily crafted ships for the safety of Aberrang, the human capital. But the river curses us with a clear view of the dreads, assaulting another hopeless village.
If you never got the chance to play the original Banner Saga, I incredibly strongly recommend it. It's both a beautiful game, it's got a wonderful story, and the strategy is very simple. So I'm imagining we'll see a little bit of the tutorial here for the second one here. Oh, there's little dredge babies. Little dredge babies. We didn't have those in the first one. That's kind of fun. Also adds a different flavor to it if they are actually like dredge babies. Because the dredge obviously look very much like golems. They always seem kind of like animated. So if they actually have little babies, it's a whole new spin. New spin on things. That'll be interesting. going to tweak the volume just a hair on the recorder. I don't want it to be too loud. Let's see. Portrait order of initiative, just like they did before. Okay. So if you didn't play the first one, your large heroes, these big guys, are giants. So think Norse mythology. They are the Varl, the giant race. They don't actually like have kids anymore. They were just made. So the Varl that are is all the Varl there are. They take up 4 tiles on the battlefield. They tend to be very strong too, so they can be very crucial in how you plan things out. You got all your stats inside. So armor blocks damage. Strength is, and this is where I think it was one of the coolest parts of the game. Strength is both the amount of damage you can do. It's also your health. So that's huge. Like as you get weaker, you intrinsically do less damage because it's working off the exact same stat. So very, very big. Willpower you can use to boost different things. The big ones are moving farther, hit harder, and use whatever your character's ability is. Exertion, this is how much willpower you can use on any given turn. And then you've got break down here. It's the amount of damage you can do to an enemy's armor and lower that armor value so then you can do more damage. This is where we're going to go. We're going to click the checkbox to confirm that's what we want. Target an enemy and click on the tile on which they stand, which is that one right there. We can see on the left is armor, and then on the red is strength, his health. Then we can choose straight up. Do we want to attack him? We can say, okay, well, we have 12 strength here with Ivor, but he's got 4 armor that lowers that to 8. It automatically does that math for us. You'll do 8 damage to his strength, or you can break 2 armor. And you choose one of those. You can only do one. Like I said, it's a beautiful game. It leads to fun choices, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this second installment brings into play. And down above the initiative tracker, it's also showing us what this guy's special ability is. So, Splinter, 3 or more arm damage to the dredge causes 1 damage to all adjacent dredge. And this is our willpower option. We can choose to do additional damage. We don't need to. Alright, it's gonna kill it. As I said, everybody can use willpower to boost their actions. You can use it for movement, which would be the yellow squares here. You can also use it for damage, like we saw. Sundering impact. And your special abilities automatically use willpower, so you have to take that into effect. So, rank 1, strength damage +1, 1 break. Boom. There's only one enemy left. Heroes enter pillage mode. During pillage, each hero moves in order and there are no more guaranteed turns. Now there's a little animation to show that you're using extra willpower on the attack. Very cool. I don't know if renown will function like it did in the first one, but the renown you got wasn't a pool. It was individually tied to each character, so you actually had to use that character and do really well with that character. You wanted that character to get better. It's very cool. Villagers' reactions range from terrified by the foes to awestruck at your arrival. Their leader approaches and bows in front of either. Timing makes me think the gods have returned. Those things are dredge, like the ones you probably heard about as a kid. The Skald! For those not familiar with Norse mythology, we have a bard. A door mirror? But joking about dead cats feels wrong. I think it'd be Jormungandr, the world serpent. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? If we're really going deep on Norse mythology. Alright, so the question is, what do I tell him? Do I tell this guy that I killed Belwer? Which is true, we did. Like, that's legitimate. Do I say talking about Sunder will only make people panic, which is not really evading the question. It's saying, I know the question you're asking, and I have the answer, but we shouldn't talk about that here around your townspeople. Or do I say, you should leave before the treachery group, which is completely avoiding his question and saying, hey, we need to get out of here. I think, especially because I'm playing a let, I think we're going to go with 2. Talking about the Thunder is only going to make people panic. We all should know. I love it. There's already an inside joke between these two, and me as the player is not in on the joke. It's great. Should I leave for the Dredger group? Alright, this really kind of runs back to the first game, where your entire caravan, you start in one town and you're running away because your town is attacked and overrun. So you have to make all these decisions about food and adding people to the caravan, which is nice to do, but it means you need more food. It's a like I said, it's just a beautifully designed and well done game. So I strongly recommend playing the first one if you haven't. Those just joining, we are playing Banner Saga 2. It's the first time I've played it, so I haven't seen anything. I am aware of absolutely nothing in this game. I want to say I felt the same when Skoger was overrun. Moves his hands too much when he talks. It's unsettling. World is breaking in more ways than one. It reminds me of your fathers. Since we're talking about things we'd rather avoid. Alright, so what makes more sense for Olette? 3 and 4 seem... No, they don't seem in character. I remember enough about the first game that it seems off. Because 3 seems very whiny, which she was not. 4 almost seems too business-like, just ignoring it. I feel like one of these top 2 is more in character for her. I want to say the second one here. I know he's gone, but I don't know how to let him go. That's the other thing about the Varlas, is kind of clues you in if you're unaware. is the Vara live long time. Long time. Maybe you alone with your thoughts. Alright, so here you're gonna get an idea of what all is going on. So, the center one here, if I remember, was like a morale, I think. Alright, so this is how many days. Plus, got 9 days. That's pretty good, actually. And then it's up top. Okay, so the middle one is the number of days. Options, get a map. "12 supplies per day to survive." All these different items look really kind of high level for what I'm at. And the only one I can afford even is a studded pommel. So let's talk to people, I suppose. Oddly, because it's essentially your go-to archer in the first game if you didn't use Alette too much. I think we're going to continue to play Alette as, I don't know, essentially somebody who's more mature for her age. She definitely kind of gets what's going on. She's no fool. And I kind of like the idea of her being a little stubborn. And sometimes these little conversations in town will give you know, different options that will affect the story. Other times they're just things that kind of clue you in on what's going on and really kind of make you better understand what's going on. Who's this guy? Kingsguard. Interesting. Okay. I think this is Raven that I was talked about. Looks annoyed. Nothing unusual. Polka. Hmm. Yeah, we'll be sassy. step toward me. Alright, so he definitely likes intimidation, this guy. Got it. Okay, so being very logical. So I can just say straight up that I'm not going to listen. I can say that what he deems useless people need to start pulling their weight. I can say that the river dictates the speed on the ships, which is technically true. The river does dictate your speed. Sassy fellow. He is a sassy fellow. Okay, so we can leave, we can rest. I think rest is the option we want. That's where I can like look at my crew. Good morale causes a +1 willpower bonus. I just move that down. Let's take a look at the map. Let's look at what we're actually looking at here. We're here in Ormsdalr. Came from Borisgard. Going to Arborang, so we're constantly going to the west. And we're on the river, so we're going this way past Grundar. The old wood. Fiskevik. I'm assuming we're probably not going to be able to stay on the river and just take it the whole way down. We're probably sidetracking and going through the woods. Or over the mountains. I hope not over the mountains. We'll find out. But the map's really cool. As you can see, it's very nicely detailed. You can kind of see what's going on. You can click on anything, and it'll tell you about that area. So the Gatsweach Hills here, not part of the Wormscale Mountains, which is another big mountain range, but most people know that technicality. One time referred to the size of the mountains, but the depth of the rivers that run through them. So it's very, very cool stuff. So, left side of the map, we got an idea of where we're going. We're going west. And I think we pretty much got everything we want. We'll go back to the market just for funsies. Gives us knockback and strength attacks. What does this tool give us? A brilliant unexpected addition to a fighter's arsenal. +2 break talent ranks. 30% chance of double strength damage. +1 range distance. Yeah, so I'm not really seeing anything there that I can use, so we'll just head out. So if you played the first one, Hakon, like Ivor, is one of the Varl you get very early on, and he's one of the characters that you kind of relate to a little bit. He knows how to do one thing. He does that one thing really, really well, and then near the end of the first one, he's named King of the Varl, and as he's saying that, it's like, I don't know how the hell to do this. What? What? That's true. There's definitely some gender gap going on here. Very old school Norse. How dare a girl think she can do anything? Gotta prove myself in battle. Gotta make it happen. We are ready. Let's go. A few appear, less villagers find seats on the rickety longships built of scrap wood, scavenged and boars god. And away we go. See? All the boats, they're just moving right along. Don't even go. Well, ignoring them is definitely not the right option. So the question is, do I threaten them, or do I reinforce that my father was a great man and I hope to be remembered as fondly? I like that. I think that kind of shows that she's acknowledging how great her dad was and that she aspires to be as much. Hey, morale improved. I don't think it actually gets better than good, does it? Does it get, like, very good? Excellent? I don't recall. At least it's not the brackish sea. I'm not sure we were all built for aquatic voyages. And I hear Averang is quite a distance away. People could use a few hours rest on solid ground. No, no, why are we making land? It's a horrible idea. Stay on the boat! Ah. Why is the capital our destination? I don't remember. I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna say that Juno says that the Menders there can protect us. I don't think that's entirely true. I think that's a half-truth. But I think that's a good enough reason. The fabled horses to ride upon. Horses are fabled things. They're not real. Those strange four-footed creatures. Never mind that. Where would I get like 1,000 horses for the freaking caravan? Down the Ormsa River. Yep. We actually identified this before the tutorial showed us. Aha. Yeah, so we know that it's falling apart. That's where the last one ended. Gun Ormstad. Oh, the walls of the city. Arr! So the full truth was again the top answer. Okay. Each new generation of residents builds another ring of walls, so the city grows larger. Nice. Interesting. Yeah, there's so much lore that you can play with on this map. It's beautiful because it goes like way up here, like huge, and it's awesome. So in the first game, you actually start in let's see, home over here in Skoger. So this is where Alette and them start, and they end up going down here, and then they come up towards Wormtoe. You have the Prince and Hakon, who are coming east. They all meet kind of up near Skyhorn. So you get these two separate parties together. They meet up along this big line of mountains, which is the Wormscale Mountains. You're paying attention earlier. And you come down. Again, this is all in the first game. You come down through Sigerholm and down to Borsgard, where the first one ends. We're picking up, so we'll see what happens. Time passes. Yep. Each time a full day passes, supplies will be consumed. Morale drops during continuous travel, and when supplies run low. Camp. Oh yeah, and if you're out of supplies, people actually starve. That is the thing. Click here to camp. Play with your heroes. Do things. Day passes in camp. Consume a day's worth of supplies, and morale increases. Well, I'm not going to click the camp because I want to talk to this dude. Who is this dude? Trigvi. What are you talking about, dude? This guy doesn't make any sense. Easier to turn the tree into another spear than push a spear through a tree. Sounds very Buddhist. Yellow and blue will lie to you. So I'm going to assume he's a crazy person. that seems legit. But I've seen enough movies and read enough books to know foreshadowing when I read it. So we know that yellow and blue will lie to you. I see this tent here is yellow and blue. That might be important. Heroes tend to promote your heroes. Let's promote our heroes. Items showed at the bottom. Okay, so we got some items already. That's good. Units to equip them. Items can only be equipped by characters of equal rank. Alright, so his ability, Impale, does normal strength damage and then kicks them away. Nice. And they bleed on their next turn. His item here is necklace. Matching full and half moon symbols. 10% chance of doing double damage. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and he's got no points to spend. I can read about him. He's got 4 kills. Guy you hope doesn't sit next to you in the meat house, or is yelling loudly in the middle of the night, building a collection of spears far more numerous than most men would need in a lifetime. Spends a fair amount of time by himself. You don't say. Alright, and then the pluses would be all the people who can promote. So let's do a let first. Yeah, promote. Do it. And her ability, really big. Thread the needle. Basically shoots every character in a straight line, does normal damage to each one. It also does bonus armor break equal to the rank of the ability, which right now is a rank 3, so it's 3 break damage to everything in the line. It's just huge. Just awesome. And her passive ability is Puncture. By standing still, able to line up a shot that takes advantage of an enemy's missing armor, doing bonus damage. So every 2 points of armor that the target has lost, the archer gains 1 additional strength on her attack, as long as she did not move beforehand. Yeah, so she's very, very powerful if she doesn't move, especially towards the end of a fight. She just gets crazy. So then on all of these values, you see on the left her current value, and on the right is her maximum. So if we promote her, we can promote her to rank 6, take on a second ability, gives her higher stats, and increases her item rank as well, which obviously we're going to do. Overwatch, knocks an arrow and waits. Any enemy who moves within range will be struck. Hey. Okay, so she sacrifices her next attack, but she'll then shoot at every enemy who moves into range. That's huge. Yeah, do that. Oh, it's gonna use 13 renown. I think that's all the renown that I have. Yeah, so that uses all of my renown to promote her. Okay, maybe we're not gonna do that then. We might not want to do that. About Leo, what's his thing? He'll only cost 7, so that's good. Doesn't cost as much. What's his target? Buff an ally for 1 round, adding 1 damage for every 2 strength that the enemy is above the ally. Okay, interesting. Those have no effect if the ally attacks an enemy of equal or lower strength. Really, his ability really only matters if you choose somebody who's really weak and you have him attack somebody really strong. Not so sure about that one. That's kind of interesting. Like, he's a great story character, but that's kind of shitty. Hakon we saw has Sundering Impact. It's on rank 3, which is good. It's passive heavy. Enemy standing adjacent to his target on strength attack take 1 strength damage from the shockwave. Very big. This is a good chance both for me to show you what everybody's stuff are, also for me to remember, because I don't remember most of this stuff. Ivor's a big hitter. Batter him. He's a knockback and a break, so he's good for taking down armor. And then he similarly has the heavy impact, just like Hakon does. Eyvind is a healer of sorts, a mender. So he's got Arc Lightning. Fire from the sky to any enemy within a range of 6. Strikes each unit diagonal to the target. Interesting. Each time the lightning arcs at a new target, it does 1 additional damage. Okay, so it actually gets bigger the more arcs. That's kind of crazy. I don't remember that from the first one. Maybe it was there. Who knows? So it's rank 3, so the first strike will do 4 damage. Okay, and then his other active ability is Mend. Restores the armor of any ally within 6 tiles. If armor restored is half of the Mender's current willpower, rounded up. Odd Leaf, again another archer. Rain of Arrows, hers is pretty big. Select an unoccupied tile on the board, fire 1 or more arrows up into the air. If an enemy passes through the selected tile, they are hit by the falling arrow, doing normal damage and stopping them in their tracks. So she's at rank 2, so she selects a tile, enemy moves there, hit with 2 arrows, and the second one gets 1 bonus damage. Very cool. Glenolf. Tempest, he just swings in a circle and hits everything around him. So up to 3 enemies with him. Again, heavy impact because he's a Varl. Big guy. Rally. Grant allies anywhere in battle some willpower, which is very cool. Lights up lets them pass through ally spaces, which is very useful if you're trying to dodge around the battlefield. Mogre was a unique Varl in that he's got a normal break attack. Excuse me. But it works with his passive really well. So any character who attacks Mogre actually loses armor because he's returning the favor. Triggers each time that he takes damage from an adjacent ally, but it also automatically triggers anytime he uses Bring the Pain. So with Bring the Pain, he strikes an enemy for armor damage, so break damage, and then he boosts his Return the Favor for the next turn. So it's kind of crazy. Gris I don't recall. So it's a knockback and break, kind of like Ivor, but he also has Return the Favor. Okay. Bercy, another roundhouse guy. Let's see. Circuits before they're able to get in attack range, allows passive to be used against more enemies. Okay, so she's got the same passive as Alette, extra damage for missing armor, and her active gives her additional range with a 100% chance to hit. So that's actually really, really cool. That's really powerful, because then she has less need to move. Ludin, our sassy prince, the Impale and Knockback that we saw before, and then his passive is Embolden. Each kill that he makes encourages his allies to fight harder, giving him 1 willpower as well as any adjacent allies. Rumir, Forge Ahead. Alright, so yeah, let's you basically move allies out of turn. Potentially very powerful. We got Hogan and Mogan. They're both similar guys. So Bloody Fail, but we get bonus strikes. But it's kind of random, so each strike does either 1 strength or 1 armor damage. It's just kind of random. Last hit does equal to 1 + 1 for each ally standing adjacent to him. but again, randomly either strength or armor. So, pretty useful. But the number of strikes is unrelated to his health, so probably something you don't want to do when he's very strong. And shield wall, when he refers next to an ally, both of them get an additional armor. Potentially very strong. And again, Mogan's essentially the same thing. So you get two guys. And then Gil here. Stonewall. So it's active. Turn that on. Each hit he takes to either strength or armor is reduced, preventing him from taking permanent damage to either. It's pretty cool. Use to only rush into a group of enemies. You gain forward advantage or step in the way of a powerful enemy to block his movement with impunity. So right now if I activate Soul, he resists 5 damage on each hit. So that's huge. That's awesome. And he also is part of the shield wall. Very, very cool. Alright, let's check out our items. Bonus strength. Always cool. Falca thread. Stores 1 armor per turn. Crazy. +1 move, 10% dodge. Strength attacks. Tortoise band. +2 armor on rest. Lightning runestone. So 10% chance of double damage. +1 to drawing aggro. Okay. Just because it's appropriate, we'll put a Let's bracelet on her. It's also pretty good. I mean, 1 armor, 1 strength, 1 will. That's solid. As you can kind of tell, rank 5 is a pretty good rank. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. This Dunder's Hand +3 strength. It is a rank 5 item, so it's going to have to go on either Ivor or Hakan. I think we'll probably give it to Hakan for right now. We can always move it later. Armor per turn. We'll give that to Gil. +1 move, +1 dodge on strength attacks. +2 armor on a rest. And a dodge on strength attacks. Good. 10% chance of double damage, +1 drawing aggro. Alright. Not sure why it's already set up that way, so let's bounce things around a little bit here. I definitely don't like a Leo in our main group. I don't like his ability that much, so let's mix that up. Put Moger in there. And then I kind of like the idea of 2 archers kind of picking everybody off. So that's what we're going to do. We're ready to leave camp. You can click leave. One is wearing a wolf cloak and missing a hand. The other It's a guard with a crazed hair shoved into net. Governor of Forest Guard. Oh, well, it's very nice of you. That's a good question. Why am I just now meeting you? I like that. This is just his guard? Okay. As you say, I don't know if it's just the way this dude was drawn, which is honestly just awesome because it's totally giving you the impression that he's not to be trusted, but he's not saying anything to suggest that he should be trusted. People. Yeah, why do you leave? Ah, power hungry. Of course. Of course. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the play. He is looking to bed me and gain power again. What a punk. That's what he is. A punk. Morale. Beginning to dip. Morale is great. It is great. Driftwood has collected, creating an impressive barrier. Ooh. So, do we try to break through? Do we try to chop down the barrier? Or prepare to portage? Set to chopping. That sounds reasonable. I mean, breaking through, I could lose a ship and lose a whole bunch of people, which would probably destroy my morale. So, yeah, we'll get to chopping. Find the battles too challenging or difficult, or find yourself needing a tougher challenge, you can modify difficulty settings. I just have it running on normal. So, change difficult battles anytime before a battle begins. Okay. Options might need to change difficulties. Cool. Units move in the order you place them, from left to right. Ah, so they actually kind of already modified it along with the story. So all of the guys with axes are are not available for this combat. Okay, so let's put. Where's this thing? He's a big, strong dude. Put Ludin up front. So we got all of our stuff there. That's good. Resume, and that's good. To battle! And also check out what I'm fighting here. So we got this big dude. Woohoo! He's a biggin. 16 armor. We do have these different obstacles to potentially help us out a little bit. I actually kind of like that placement on everybody, so we're going to actually keep that. That looks good. What's this question mark? Oh, there's a reminder and everything. Cool. Turn everybody's banners on or off. Very nice. We're ready. Let's do it. And I kind of like where we're at. We'll just move over a little bit and we'll just end turn right there. Alright, so the biggest problem I got is that this guy's gonna do a ton of damage. I need a way to lower his health, and I can't do that until I can remove a whole bunch of his armor. So already I'm seeing that this was a poorly thought out plan, in that I should have moved my Varl over. Move Gil over because he's got a lot of armor too. Trigv actually has some pretty good armor break. We can use that to our advantage. kind of interesting that there was a call to remove the debris, but because I'm outnumbered, that debris is actually going to help me. So we're going to keep that. So we're going to have Gil come up here because his passive is going to create that nice little shield wall for us. Boom. We're not going to stonewall just yet. I don't think it's needed. So we'll just end turn, and we'll go with that. Sounds reasonable. And I can't do a whole lot with Let because everybody's very far away. So what we'll have to do is we'll bring her over here. That'll let us attack this guy. It's not going to do a lot of damage, but we can do 2 armor break, which is huge. In fact, we'll pull up to 5. We'll bust him down. Now we can really cause some pain on that front. Alright, Trigvi, so he's got 10 armor right now. This big dude over here, he's also rolling pretty hard. Like I said, we really need to pull him down hard. What's his ability? Pulling. Kill grants the spearman all adjacent allies willpower. Impale causes knockback. Target bleeds when moving. So yeah, let's actually do that. I don't know if we can impale and do armor damage if that's an option. But it'll force him to do less damage. Anyways, so to knock him back 2 tiles, and he's gonna bleed 1 strength per tile he moves. So that'll be big. So with her bird of prey, we can hit this guy. But we won't do any actual damage. Her 8 strength is equal to the armor, so we're not doing anything there. So yeah, not worth it. So we'll end turn with Nid. Alright, so now we got our Varl here. Gonna move Moger up. Use 1 willpower to get there. And then bring the pain again, breaks his armor, and then punishes him for retaliating. So let's do it. We're only going to do 1. I'm really just looking to break armor, I'm looking to go crazy on it. So we'll punch him down. Yeah, see, now that we destroyed his armor a lot, we can already do some serious damage. We can actually take him out. So we'll do that. Oof. That big guy, he's not having it. He doesn't like the games we're playing. So, we'll bust his armor down. And then Alette gets that big damage boost for that puncture. Remember that? So we're going to see a lot of pain coming in just a second. In fact, since she hasn't moved, she's going to do extra damage. So she's already at 5. This guy can potentially summon more, so we want to take him out sooner rather than later. What is this guy's special ability? Kindle. Shield Slam causes knockback to all adjacent units to armor break damage. Alright, so he's also kind of a shit kicker. Yeah, we're gonna pound it with Alette. We want to take this guy down many notches. Boom. Crushing it. Crushing it. Alright, remember this guy's bleeding. This turns so that he's down to 7 health already, which is great. Since Trigvy's got a pretty good armor break, we're gonna bring him up here and we're gonna bust up. So he's only, because his strength is less than the armor, there's just a percentage chance that he even does 1, which is so low that we're just gonna do the armor break. We'll use all the willpower we got. We want to crush that. All right, now is the time where that bird of prey can really be useful. Now if we pull it up, we got some damage we can do to this guy because of the puncture. Yeah, so we're looking at 6 damage now. Now we're doing something good. Boom. Alright, we see a big hitter. So we got this guy here. He's over here, so he's 3rd on our initiative list. We can actually take him out completely. So the guy that just hit us, he's way down at the end. Scourge, he's 5th, it looks like. Yeah, let's just take this guy out. This guy will move in, and he would be next. So that's potentially what we're opening ourselves up to. So actually, I think Mogur's doing well enough. We're actually going to bust this guy's armor instead. Because then this guy still doesn't have any place to move into. And the other nice thing with all these dredge, you saw that chain reaction? It's because of the splinter ability they have. So if they take 3 or more armor damage, all adjacent dredge take 1 armor damage, and it just chains down until there's no adjacent dredge. So we just did armor damage to all these guys. Which means that now with Ludin, we can hit this guy for something. Not a whole lot, but we can hit him for something. I just want to knock him back. I want to get him out of there. Alright, and that brings us to Gil. He's really doing alright. We can take out this guy. I'd rather have one of our archers pick him off. So we got the stone guard, that big guy. Still doing pretty healthy. We got all these other little guys floating around here. So we don't have a real great shot with Alette where we can hit everybody in a row. I'd have to move her right here, and I could hit all these guys. Boom. Not ideal. So instead, we're going to plan on Nid taking out the Stonecaller. I'll take out this guy. No? This guy, maybe? Yeah, we'll take out this guy. So he's at a 7 right now. We'll boost that 3. We'll drop him entirely. Poof. Gillis taking some serious armor damage at this point. Alright, so Nid essentially has a range of 5. So we want her to pick up this guy. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's essentially got to move here. Got to move her somewhere. Let's move her back here, because that like, puts a little more distance between her and all the other dredge. Yep, and we don't need to spend any willpower, we just take him down. So, you know, we're filling our war horn here with all this renown from killing guys. And just kept taking down his armor, because remember, Alette's got that puncture, so she does bonus damage based on the difference between his current armor and his max. And his max is huge, so she's getting a whole bunch of bonus damage now. Don't even need any willpower, just drop him. Bada bing, bada boom. We're out of willpower, but that's actually okay. We're just gonna bust this guy up. Take his health down. We don't want him to actually be able to punch through armor, which is what he's been doing. And because of the renown I've got, I can use some of that and basically use these as willpower for units if I really need to. I'm not worried about it, but that's an option I have. This guy here, we're going to take out his armor a little more. Just a little bit. Because that'll soften him up for Mogre to deal with. See, then he can use his one and take him down. Yay! You hear the X-Men cheer as the blockage of wood breaks up and disappears down the river. The dredge have regrouped. One of them looks especially menacing. Everybody's tired, but you can buy everyone else enough time to safely board the ships. Yeah, get to the ships. Alright, so we lost a couple people because we had everybody run. Luden and Nid both ready for promotions, as well as Moger. And Renown. It's a good way to do it. Alright, and that is where we will end things for today. We're gonna just kind of finish through this little story caption, and then we'll pick up again on Tuesday. So Ivor says, might make it down the road with Keppel without any more trouble. Maybe. I get to make jokes about losing my arm, not you. Challenging your skills. In challenges and through freeform sparring, click on the training tent to begin your first challenge. Alright, so that is where we are going to end things today. Thank you for tuning in and watching. As always, make sure you click subscribe. You can follow me on Twitch, and we'll be back with the next part of our Let's Play on Banner Saga 2 on Tuesday. We'll see you then.